Hello everybody, I'm Steve and welcome to Green Side Up. 2nd of March today, still winter, and we've had another frost again this morning. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, winter goes on to the end of this month, so it is what it is. It was mostly white when I come down this morning. As I spin around, you'll see all the mist in the distance. You know, it's quite a dank morning, but because we've had a frost, it's messed around with the soil again, and I just wanted to show you that. I think it's worth showing as many times as possible, really. But I'll get you in close and have a look now. So this is the top of my no-dig raised beds, and in here we've got the wallflowers. This time last year, they were over there in that tunnel, 3 foot tall and flowering. And it's nothing to do with the fact that they were indoors in the polytunnel, because these wallflowers here had the hot boxes on them that are now just inside there. You can just see them inside there warming the soil up for me. So it's the fact that we've had a much colder winter, and it is what it is. But as I zoom in down here, get you a lot closer in, you can see what the frost has done to the soil down here. And it's a good example of how frost can and will break up the soil for you. It will do a lot of the work for you. So if in the autumn you just turn your soil over, if you're a dig garden, the frost will do the work for you. We're going to have a look at somewhere else, some actual soil. This is compost, but we'll have a look at some soil. Right, this is one of the no-dig raised beds that I need to finish off. I've got a lot of work to do on this yet, but anyway, as I zoom in down into this soil, and I'll put a sensor scale with a set of secateurs there, you can see all the holes in this soil, and this is why frost breaks up soil. As the ground freezes, the ice expands, breaks the soil apart, and then when it defrosts, the water just sort of drains away and goes back into the soil, but that soil is ready to break apart. And it's the same all over this bed. You can see little areas, again, the edge of the secateurs for a sensor scale, and you can see just how much it's broken this soil apart. So that cover has been on this bed all winter, and we've got a little bit of weed growth coming through, and as it's been frosted, I'm just going to whiz the claw through just to break some of the lumps down on the top and just disturb some of the weeds, stop them getting too much of a foothold. If you're doing this on a soil bed, don't dig down too deep just yet, because what you'll be doing is you'll be digging the frost underneath your soil, and your soil is a good insulator and it will keep that ground cold underneath. So just don't do it, basically. There you go. I'm just wanting to disturb the weeds. As I say, just not much has grown, but we are getting into warmer weather now, and they will easily get away if they've got a toe hold. I just wanted to illustrate this furrow method of sowing as I use, and it's just a tray full of compost, and then with my fingers or a piece of glass or wood, I knock some furrows in it and sow along the furrows, so you get your varieties along each furrow. Or you could do one whole furrow for one, divide it into 2, or divide it into 3, whatever you want. And this is what I've done here. I've got a couple of little rows. Okay, this tray's a little bit Spartan, but I'm trying to use up old seed this year. That's why that's happening. But it just gives you a few of the plants that you want, and you don't need to sow a whole tray or massive lines or rows or anything, which I have a tendency to do. So for me, this is brilliant, because it allows me to get, if I just did furrows in the tray, I'd get 8, 9 or 10 different varieties in the tray. If I divide each into 2, it's 18 or 20. So for small amounts of plants but lots of varieties, this is perfect. You know, you can have 20 different plants in there if that's all you want, you know. So don't overlook that because as you can see, it's brilliant. I'm going to pop these on later. I'm not going to do them now. But I got up this morning, and Green Side Up was at 6,500 subscribers, which is bloody marvellous. And I swore there, sorry about that, but I'm just so excited. It's come on in leaps and bounds. Thank you for all the subscribers that have been with me right the way from the start, and those who've joined me since. It's much appreciated. I make the videos, but you make the channel by being there, by watching it, by commenting on it, liking it, or even when you dislike it. It all adds to it. It lets me know what to do, and by in the chat and the comments underneath, it gives me further ideas of what to cover and what to video, and it gets me excited about it as much as you guys get excited about watching them. So it's a brilliant combination, so I can't thank you enough for that. If you haven't subscribed, here's the pitch. Big red button down there, just hit that and hit the bell notification next to it, selecting all. Then when I post new content, you won't miss it. That button doesn't bite, it won't harm you. It just means that every 2 days when I post a new video, because I try to do them every 2 days, it means you'll get a notification, hey, Steve's posted a video, and you can go and have a look at it. I say the buttons don't bite, I don't bite. This is Green Side Up, this is gardening. What more do you want? So subscribe. And one last thing about subscribing. I made a promise a little while ago at the start of the year that at 5,000, 7,500 and 10,000 subscribers I would do a cash giveaway in the form of an Amazon voucher so that you can spend it on what you wish. This makes it inclusive for everybody around the world, so no matter where you are, you can use this 50 quid. It'll just transfer into your currency and you can spend it as you wish, which, you know, I've already done, because when we got to 5,000 subscribers, Lee was a subscriber on this channel, obviously. He won that 50 quid and he's done with that whatever he wants to. So, but now that we're at 6,500, I'm only 1,000 away from the next draw. And the way it will work is when I announce the draw, everybody who responds to that announcement, because it'll be a little video, everybody who comments underneath will be automatically entered in that draw, and I will use a comment selector to pick the winner. And it's that simple. And then I get in contact with you and I get that 50 quid to you. So it couldn't be simpler. So as soon as we get to 7,500, another 50 quid. There you go. Right, does anybody have one of those plants that they just cannot grow for whatever reason it is? Well, this is one of mine, and it's broad beans, and I will suffer at some point during the journey every year with them. But do I give up? Do I? Hell, I'll find it. I'll find out. Eventually get some to harvest. I mean, I sowed some in the autumn last year, and they got sort of mildew here in the polytunnel. I'd left them in similar to these root trainers, really. I'd left them in there and they were growing along nicely, good 6 inches tall, and then mildew struck and they just all rotted off and went to powder, so they were hopeless. And I've tried sowing them earlier, and I've tried sowing them in the ground in various combinations, protected and unprotected, and I've even had them to get to the point where the pods are on the plants, and I've managed to protect them against the black fly, managed to get rid of them, and I've still not had a crop. But do I give up? Hell no. I'll keep trying, I'll crack them. I don't know what it is about these. I've even tried pre-soaking seeds, but for some reason me and soaking bean seeds don't seem to work. But I think all of us probably have a plant that's a nemesis for us, and we just cannot, for whatever reason, grow them. And this is certainly one of mine. But, you know, my better half, Anne, she adores these, so every year, twice, 3 times a year, because the seeds are cheap, I'll try them, and I won't give up. Eventually, I'll find a method or a way to grow these, and we'll crack it. I just don't hold much hope of me getting there. So I don't know if this is the right way, because I've tried so many ways and methods before, but right now this is the way I'm growing them. And wish me luck, everyone. I mean, they are a long season plants, really, because I think it's about 5 or 6 months to get there. But anyway, we'll see. We'll give them I'll fill these up, give them a water, and we'll see where we end up in later in the summer. So these new no-dig raised beds here have been made in couplets, and they're being made with a central path down the middle for access, and then something's going over them, the pair of them. It's going to keep them in twos, and here's the next pair, but one exactly the same size, one pair, is going to be going here. So I just need to tidy this area up. It won't take too much work, this, and it's going to go along this path all the way over to the fence here. These compost heaps are coming out, and it'll be right smack bang in the front of that tunnel. So it won't take too much work, about another week or so, and it'll all be done. So out the back here, now that those trees have all gone along that line, nice and light, and there's no danger to me polytunnel, so I can start working on this. Ground is drying up nicely, so I can start digging some of the soil out from that back edge next to the fence and start to fill up. You can see the plank there, that's level going across, and you can see there's about a foot difference between one side of the tunnel and the other, and it's about 1.5 feet from top to bottom. So I'm just going to landscape that ground. I'll take the plastic off and just start cracking on with it. I'll do a little bit of digging a day along with doing the other jobs, for instance that last no dig raised bed. So over a period of time they should come together, and I'll be aiming to put the tunnel up in April. There, it's kind of set in stone. So just a quick look at the plants in the little polytunnel. Some lettuce looking rather sad there, but hopefully they'll pick up. But anyway, that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'll see you all in a couple of days. Take care all. Bye bye.